Hello, everyone. Welcome to Catherine's ESL classroom. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about double negatives. Do you know what double negatives are? Well, I'll give you a hint. I haven't seen nobody in class today. Do you notice the two negative words causing confusion? Shouldn't you correct yourself and say, I haven't seen anybody in class today? Does that make more sense to you? Well, let's learn some more about double negatives. So welcome again. Today's lesson, double negatives. Remember, two negative words in a sentence could also be in a form of a question. What are negatives? Words that produce opposite meanings. For example, Mr. Morton is not boring. Are you repeating after me? Mr. Morton is not boring. Another one is that hardly matters. Little confusing, right? You can't leave though. Doesn't make any sense, right? They're producing opposite meanings. Let's learn some more so you can better understand. Common negative words. The no words. The no words are neither, no, non, not, nothing, nowhere, nobody. Limiting modifiers. Barely, hardly, never, rarely, and scarcely. Negative contractions. Can't, couldn't, didn't, doesn't, isn't, wasn't, and won't. Okay, these are the common negative words. What are double negatives? Using two negative words in one phrase. Double negatives create positive meanings. For example, Mr. Morton isn't not boring. Doesn't really make sense, right? Mr. Morton isn't not boring. Now, before, when we were saying the negatives, we were just saying Mr. Morton isn't boring. That's your negative, okay? That means they're not boring. But if I say Mr. Morton is not boring, that's saying that Mr. Morton is boring. Starting to get the catch? That hardly doesn't matter. See the two negatives? So then you would say that hardly does matter, that hardly doesn't matter. So if you take out those two negatives, then they would say that does matter. You see how the double negatives make it positive? They cancel each other out. You can't never leave though. Okay? So then you would be saying, you can leave though. Little confusing, right? Okay, so just go over it again. If you have a double negative, you're canceling it out and you're making it positive. Mr. Morton isn't not boring would be meaning Mr. Morton is boring. Just want to make sure you got that. That hardly doesn't matter would mean that does matter. You can't never leave though would mean you can leave though, okay? Negative prefixes. Some modifiers have built-in negatives. Example, dishonest, incapable, unfair, okay? avoid accidental double negation. Well, isn't dishonest. See, kind of confusing. She won't be incapable. They aren't unfair. Okay, so well, isn't dishonest means, well, he is honest. You see, you meant to say he's dishonest, right? You see how it makes a double negation and it makes it unclear? She won't be incapable means she will be capable. That means she can do it. They aren't unfair would mean they are fair. Okay. Now, in the second sentence of she won't be incapable, where's the double negative? I made it in red, the incapable, that's the negative. Now you see a contraction. Won't means will not, okay? Trying to get you to pay attention, are you? Are you following now? Great job. Double negatives. Remember, negative words reverse meanings. Double negation will turn it positive, or double negation will reverse the meaning or cancel it out. Dis, on, in, and non are often negative prefixes. Don't use double negatives would be my best recommendation to you if you want people to understand your communication, whether you're speaking or whether you are writing. Why? It changes the meanings. We don't want that, right? Double negatives. Quick knowledge check. Are you ready? If you're not, just pause it and rewind, and it'll start making more sense, and then you will master double negatives. So here, let's get ready for quick knowledge check. Choose the correct word or words. Sadly, I blank a penny left in my purse. Now find the double negatives, if there are any, and find the correct words to create your meaning. Let's try. Sadly, I scarcely had a penny left in my purse. Sadly, I didn't scarcely have a penny left in my purse. Now this is tricky. Think about what the vocabulary word scarcely means. Then, once you look that up, then you'll pick the correct words. So let's get ready. Who's been studying? Sadly, I scarcely had a penny left in my purse. Whoever got it, excellent job. You are mastering double negatives. And if you didn't get it right, don't worry. We just practice and then you'll create your perfection. Okay, scarcely, okay? That means you barely have any. You have very little. When someone says, I scarcely had a penny, that means maybe they had one or two in their purse, okay? So sadly, I almost did not have a penny left in my purse. Just so you can understand what this means even more. Okay, next one. Sadie won't talk to blank about her problems. Should it be Sadie won't talk to nobody about her problems? Sadie won't talk to no one about her problems? Or Sadie won't talk to anybody about her problems? Anybody. Do you know why? Because of won't. What does the contraction won't mean? Will not. Sadie will not talk to anybody about her problems. Okay, great job. Fabulous. Okay, just to make it clear, this means Sadie will not talk to any person about her problems. Now you got it. Hooray. What about this one? She didn't study, so she blank hardly finished her final. This is tricky. What should it be? Could or couldn't? Could. Trying to trick you here. Do you know why? Didn't means did not. Hardly. Okay. We have two negative words here, but you have to know your meaning and what you want to communicate. This means she did not study, so she could not finish her final. Okay. We couldn't say she did not study, she could not hardly finish her final. Okay. So because we added hardly, that means she could not, meaning hardly means it's like not, but it's like almost not. Okay. So it really means she could almost not finish her final, but she just did it. Okay. Starting to make more sense. I know this is tricky. What about this one? She cheated on her exam. She wasn't honest. She wasn't dishonest. Where's your negative word and does it make sense? Which is the right word? Honest. She cheated on her exam. She wasn't honest. Because of wasn't. What does wasn't mean? Was not. If she cheated, she was not honest. Right? Okay. Or you could say she was dishonest. So you have to be careful with your double negatives, your two negative words. And what are you trying to communicate? Bonus challenge. Who's ready? Can you find the double negative? Okay. How many people like to read the funnies or the newspaper or even anything that is comical? Now, what does this say? You can prove nothing. How many people say this? No need to know. No need to now. See how they're making this funny? Officer, arrest this man. Perhaps next time he'll think twice about using a double negative. Now, not only are there two double negatives, a double negative. See, I just created no and double negative. See, trying to confuse you. You see how the English language is a little confusing. So we have to be careful. So who found the double negative? And there was a spelling error. No need to know. How many people is no N-O-W or is no K-N-O-W? Think of knowledge, your brain. Okay. So who found the double negative or the two negative words in the sentence? You can't prove nothing. Okay. You can prove nothing. This was a funny bonus challenge, but if you notice, most people should say you can't prove anything. That's the proper English. But a lot of people do say you can't prove nothing. Okay, that was fun, right? You can't prove anything is the proper English. But you will hear a lot of people say, you can't prove nothing, which means you can prove something. Okay, so if I say to you, you can't prove nothing, I didn't eat that cake, or I didn't take that money out of the jar, and I say you can't prove nothing, that means You can prove something. Okay, so that was the funny one. Well, thank you everyone in joining Miss Catherine's English class. And I wanted to say, you can't prove nothing means you can prove something. So thank you everyone and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.